Chris, Peter, you're from Keller Williams. What's all this about wanting mums at the school gates to become estate agents? That sounds crazy. Talk to me.
I think I ended the last video by saying there's 1.7 million graduate mums that don't return to work due to the prohibitive cost of childcare. It's a mouthful. For me, you know, they could have had great careers, but the law firms don't want them back. They could have been brilliant accountants, whatever it might be. They know how to deliver first-class customer experience. They've bought and sold property themselves. They've been through the pain. They're not a 20-year-old whippersnapper from Bromley like we just talked about. But they get people. They get people. So when people say, why are you into property? And people say, oh, I love properties. For me, it's a people sport. We talk about it a lot being a contact sport, as in you've got to make contacts. So for me, we provide the facility. Again, they have to fit in with our values, integrity, win-win. They have to be.
Forget that. Peter, you're from America. You're from Keller Williams. And how many of your associates are mums versus? When I say mums, that could be dads as well, because it's stay-at-home fathers, versus good old-fashioned estate agents. Because I've heard a lot in the UK industry, oh, you don't want to go to see Keller Williams, all they're interested in is mums turning into estate agents. I want real estate agents. Not real estate agents. I was going to say that. Actually, I think that was quite good. Go on.
Probably half and half. And there's absolutely nothing.
Do you think we're missing a trick in the country?
Yes. Absolutely. And I'm ignorant of how your world works, so I don't want to project our values or our ideas on yours. And yet, absolutely, there's a huge opportunity. There are an incredibly large group of highly talented, skilled individuals who are missing out on an opportunity to bring in a second income. And this is not like an Uber side hustle income. This is real income. When you take someone that's smart and talented, capable and connected, and you insert them into or plug them into a platform where they're keeping the majority of the fees that they charge, they may only do 4 or 5 sales a year. And yet think about how that impacts their family's finances. It's a huge opportunity.
Yeah, but hold on a second. Chris, you run one of these hubs. We've talked about this in a previous video where you're responsible for the hub and you have lots of self-employed or associates.
Yeah.
Surely you want to be filling all that up with young whippersnappers from Hart and Thamesview and all the other corporates. You don't want a few mums there clogging up the system, do you?
So here's the thing. If you, and again, I've shot myself, but if you do have our values, our system's open to anyone. I'll say if you are learning based, you really do put the client first. And here's the things, I didn't come through, I set my first estate agency up having not been in the industry because I looked at it and thought, whoa, there's a load of opportunity. Dare I say, I think in the UK we become conditioned. I was interviewing someone the other day who'd worked for a company for 21 years, and it's almost like he'd done 20 of the years once, or 1 year 20 times,
yes.
If you like. And again, he was an absolutely brilliant guy, but he'd not been on much training. In fact, I think he'd hardly done any written training.
I think UK estate agents are awful at training.
Now, what I'm saying is you bring people from outside the industry that have maybe been trained exceptionally in law and accounting or whatever it might be, they're of the mindset to constantly evolve, to script practice, to really learn how to do estate agency very, very well. Whereas I think we're conditioned in the UK, again, like I talked about in the previous video, to be transactional and just get it over the line, get it exchanged, ferry the offer to.
Doing the deals, that's what estate agency is all about. Deals,
Deals, which is great. Listen, I love deals, but doing the deals with integrity and not looking over your shoulder and glad I got that one over the line, let's go to the pub. Wow, I can make my mortgage. Very much, I absolutely did the very best for that lady, and she now has moved on. And do you know what? I've done very well out of it as well. So again, do I want all the whippersnappers? Yeah, please come and see me. But do I want mums and dads from outside the industry that don't want to work full time, that will offer first-class customer service all day long?
And if I may, when you provide great service and you're incentivized to do that, the referrals that start coming in are huge. And I think another opportunity within this industry is a higher amount of repeat and referral business for estate agents. And mums and dads are very well connected.
Of course, around the school gate talking. Do you think that might be where the industry could go? You're going to say yes, obviously.
I think the industry's in a very weird, but I like it, weird position like I touched on. You've got the online guys driving down prices. and fees. You've got people, and I was guilty of this in my last agency, just nicking a board so that I could get one on. And my value proposition, or the value proposition, is dropping out. And I think because we're not licensed, because we don't have qualifications, you know, you can be 16, I've dropped out of school, no qualifications to your name, buy a shiny suit from Next and value someone's house and put it on the next day. Are you going to get the very best service from that person? You're probably not. If you were to put that person in a system and train them and nurture them and mentor them and model them, are you going to get fundamentally a different service? Yes, you are.
Surely it comes down to the mindset, though. You know, training is great, but it comes down to what's going in here, doesn't it?
Do you know what, the first piece of any training is mindset for me, and it's shifting that mindset ever so slightly. And I think you're interviewing a chap next week who runs, and you've interviewed loads of the guys that do training here in the UK, and for me it's slowly starting to take shape, and you see more and more training courses pop up for estate agents. You only have to look at Matt Giggs, and he focuses his first kind of hour or so on mindset, and it's very Tony Robbins-esque. And again, some of the other guys, it's very, very similar. The mindset is something we need to adapt and evolve in the UK. But if you're training constantly, that mindset or those limiting beliefs will be very, very quickly changed.
Do you think the same training works for young whippersnapper from heart versus mum who had a law degree but went and had kids?
No, so whippersnapper from heart will know the industry. Mum with law degree won't know the industry, so we'll have different courses based on where you're at. So we've got Ignite, which is kind of our signature course, which is Estate Agency 101, if you like. I'd still put whippersnapper from heart into that course, and he'll probably get different things from that, but we've got different courses if you're slightly more advanced or depending on when your career is that you should go to. So if you come on board, what you get from me, if you like, is the...
Because you're in charge of this hub.
Yeah.
Because the thing I like about the associate model is that it's, and we can probably talk about this in another video, is that setting up, there's plenty of people out there that want to set up their own estate agents, but that requires 100, 150 grand. The thing I like about the associate model, which Keller Williams obviously is an integral part to this, is that you don't have to put 100 grand in to start your own business.
So if I can end this video, if I may, and then we'll go on to that piece, we've got a book called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and I'm hoping I had that.
Okay.
And
I love the way that the bright light went.
Do you know, I've been hanging around with an American all week, right? Now, if I would have had that book when I started my old agency, would we have grown it a lot quicker? I think we would do. So
is that red and black one?
It's that one just there. But my agents, what they do get, for me as the guy that runs Keller Williams London Bridge, I get to look, they work in the business, I get to sit and look down on it, which I absolutely love. So I get to look at their business plans, their trajectory, and go, I think this course would help, you need some work here, this is what we all need to do to grow. Which again is brilliant for me. So there's different courses depending on where you are and where you're at, but you also get coached from me as well. And if I get to pour into people and help maybe change the service in this industry,
because you're not their boss, you're there to support and guide them and ensure that they perform. Because if they perform, you get this. Which at the end of the day, that's what you're in it for, isn't it?
Of course, but I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I work for those guys. As soon as that, you know, if I've got an abundance of agents in my hub. Doing really well, eating well, I then eat well. So it's not 3 or 4 do well and I take a load off the top. It's you guys do well, I have to pour into you, but by doing that I'll then do well. But then it's win-win, right?
Good. Let's talk about that setting up your own business in the next video.
Cool. Cheers. Chris.
Cheers.
Again.